everyone, it's Matthew.
And Daniel.
And we are A to Z Thrills. And...
well, last week we looked at the top 5 best coasters that blew our expectations out of the water. But now, we're on to the 5 coasters that we went into thinking these were going to be the best coasters ever. And they did not deliver. Now, I do want to say, just because we have these on this list does not mean that these are bad rides overall. These are just our opinions. If you agree with our opinions or disagree, you can let us know in the comment section down below. And again, we are going to try and get rewrites on these. Hopefully our expectations or our opinion on the coasters do change. But for right now,
and some of these will be quite controversial.
Oh, yeah.
Especially number 1.
Now, let's go ahead and start with number 5.
Number 5. Okay, so let me preface this by saying this was the first of its kind that we have ridden. SNS 40 free spin, and that is Tumbili
at King's Dominion.
Yeah. Now let me preface this by saying Batman at Fiesta, Texas is a fantastic free spin. Go ride that.
Yes.
This, we flipped, if I counted correctly, a half time.
No, we did flip over one time, and that was at the very beginning, and we almost flipped over a second
time. Okay, 1.25 flips. Batman, we got like 4 times 5.
Now, granted, we may have ridden the mild side. We wasn't for sure which side was a wild or which one was a mild, so we can't really fault on that, which is why it's actually lower on the list than where we wanted to put it originally.
Yeah.
And again, this is nothing to say that this coaster can't be great.
Yeah, we want to get back to King's Dominion and give it another chance.
And it also could have been just the day itself, because it was kind of cold whenever, well, it wasn't cold, but it was still like early in the morning when we did ride that ride. So maybe it hadn't warmed up yet. So for all those, we're giving it a lower spot as number 5.
But that doesn't mean we're not going to give it another try.
Oh, of course. I mean, from what we rode on Batman, that was just so good.
Yes.
Move on to number 4, which surprisingly is at the same exact park. Just a little bit across the way. Let's go ahead and slither our way over there.
Oh.
Anaconda.
Ugh.
This ride, now I will say, the setting of this ride is beautiful. Against that lake, it's so good. I do think something better could go there.
Oh, anything.
I mean, either that or, hey, Premier Rides or Chance Rides. Maybe one of y'all can come over and retrack this one as well.
I actually had this coaster a little bit higher on my overall bottom 5, but the consensus was to move it to number 4. I hated this ride. I'm sorry. This was bad.
For me, it was more of a meandering kind of feel.
No, this was bad. It was painful. It was...
I mean, touche. I
mean, yeah, it's an arrow looper, but I mean, it's not a good one.
It really isn't. I also think the color scheme could do some updating.
Of course, we will give it another try if we ever go back to when we ever do go back to King's Dominion in the not too distant future. Okay, number 3. It's time to get out of King's Dominion
and go to
King's Island. Oh. I know, our number 1 park almost. Invertigo.
Oh, that's right. I keep like this ride. It made me dizzy. It gave me Invertigo. I mean, touche. It promised what it says it's gonna do. It's gonna give you Invertigo. Yeah. But don't get me wrong, it was so cool to actually finally ride a inverted Vekoma boomerang, because I've never ridden one before. And I do think that they have the potential to be good, especially those giant inverted boomerangs, the one that have the original trends.
I loved Deja Vu at Six Flags Over Georgia way back in the early 2000s.
And man, I wish I could have rode that ride. Wait a minute. That reminds me, we're doing another video later on next week talking about our top 10 defunct roller coasters that we wish we could have rode.
Now, let me just say this. It is the worst ride at Kings Island, but at pretty much any other park, it would probably be middle of the pack. Yeah. It's just when you compare it to the rest of the rides at Kings Island, there is no flaw at Kings Island besides Invertigo. You get rid of that, you got a perfect park.
Touche. But now we go on to one that I know I'm gonna get a lot of flack for.
We are both going to get a lot of flack. Now let me just preface this by saying, this is another fantastic park.
Oh, yes.
And I will say the theming on this ride is absolutely immaculate. You would never, ever think you would see theming like this
at Six Flags.
But as far as expectations go, we had very high ones for what many people say is the very best B&M dive coaster.
We're talking about
Dr. Diabolical's Cliffhanger.
Now,
oh no.
Here's the thing. We already know I'm a Val Raven stan through and through.
As am I.
We love Val Raven. Now, the only thing is though, this is one of the new, well, it is one of the newest B&M dive coasters, and it has those vest restraints, same as Val Raven. Val Raven has those big boy seats that I need in 1, 2, and 3. Whereas this only had it in 2 and 3, which does subtract a little bit because I'm just like, come on. You have that middle seat there, it's perfect, everyone wants to sit there. You should have a big boy seat in all 3 rows, at least according to me. Because I mean, Sheikra, Griffin, Val Raven, Yukon Striker, all of them, from what I know, have that in all 3 seats. So, a little disappointment there, but I can understand. So I got to sit in the second row, he sit in the front row.
But even sitting in the front row, it just wasn't good compared to, I mean, it's not a bad ride, don't get me wrong. No. It is not a bad ride. We're not saying don't ride it.
Yeah. I mean, again, this is just our opinion, and your opinion can be different. It's totally fine.
Absolutely, it's free country.
But the main thing that cut it down so much for me is that this is a new B&M, and I already have that B&M rattle, and it's like, it hasn't even been open for 2 years. I mean, Fury has been open for almost 10 years and has an exceptionally smooth ride, whereas this one has only been out for less than 2 and have that B&M rattle. It's just like, Six Flags, you're gonna have to find a way to fix that because it's just like, that kills the mood.
Alright, now before we get to number 1, we have a couple of honorable mentions. Now, here is why these are honorable mentions. They are, because I'm gonna go ahead and go through both of them. They are Loch Ness Monster at Busch Gardens Williamsburg and Wonder Woman Golden Lasso Coaster at Six Flags Fiesta Texas. Now, both are undergoing refurbishment.
Yes.
Wonder Woman is undergoing new trains.
That will have the updated seat belts.
Exactly, because the restraints, I mean, if you watch our Fiesta Texas video, you know how we felt about Golden Lasso Coaster.
Link in the description down below.
Exactly. But anyway, you have also seen our POV of our first and only ride on Loch Ness Monster. And at that point, we didn't know what was going on with Loch Ness Monster. Nobody...
Let's play a clip. That was a neck hit! Oh, that one hurt!
Nobody had said anything about a redo or anything. They have retracted it and it's going to reopen very soon.
And as you can see, we did not like it from the very beginning. Now granted, we did sit in the front row because we always like to have the front row ride for the first ever ride we ever have on a new ride. But apparently that's not the special seat that you're supposed to have. And we learned the hard way. So we are willing to give it a chance.
Oh, of course we are. Because, I mean, you know, who came in and did the retract?
Premier Rides.
I believe so.
Yeah. But speaking of Chance, Chance has been rumored to apparently be retracting this at some point, our #1 worst ride of 2023.
Well, it's not the worst ride of 2023.
For me, it's the worst ride.
I love Airtime myself. I do. But this is painful.
Especially those triangle-shaped heels.
Uh-oh.
We're talking about Magnum XL 200.
At Cedar Point. Now, put your pitchforks and torches away. I see them. I get it. I get it. Just go on the record and say, we did get 2 rides on Magnum XL 200. The first ride was in a middle seat. And it wasn't bad. It was just okay, fine. So
until we got to the last part.
Until we got to the last part, yeah. And then I was like, oh, ow. Well, I mean, we had always assumed the front seat.
We assumed the front seat was gonna be where it was gonna be best.
It wasn't.
No, I had bruises on my thighs.
It was some terrible pain, y'all. And, you know, I get this ride's history, and I'm not trying to rain down on it or anything. I get it. I'm sorry. That's just our opinion. Now, we are going back to Cedar Point, hopefully, for Coaster Mania. Hopefully.
Now, we have also talked to a few friends that have ridden Magnum and say that there is a special seat that you have to ride on.
The so-called magic seat.
Now, Coaster 365, he went to, to your point, he even said that usually Magnum is low on his list because he just never liked it. And he was able to ride on that magic seat and it changed his perspective. So we are wanting that magic seat. We want to have a great time on this wonderful coaster because I will say, the layout looks amazing.
Oh, it's an amazing layout.
The scenery, oh my god.
Oh yeah, you get to see the hotel breakers. Best hotel, by the way.
But the only thing is though, is that most people say like with Air Force One, the quad down is so painful.
It is.
To me, Magnum XL 200's final bunny hills, those triangle hills, have more ejector airtime in them, but that, to me, is more painful than Air Force One.
But the thing about it is, the rest of Air Force One is so smooth, and it doesn't hurt at all. Yeah. Magnum hurts throughout. Like, I remember going down the first lift hill, and I was like, ah!
Yeah, no, as in it has some jank to it. It has that aero jank. Thank you so much for watching to the end of the video. If you agreed with our list, let us know. And if you disagreed, come after both of us.
No, let us know in the comments. What coasters did you ride in 2023 that just didn't live up to your expectations?
Yes.
You can also put your worst coasters. We'll be happy to look at them too.
Oh yeah.
And we might roast you a little bit if you put something we like though. Just be prepared for that.
But also right down there, click that little like button. It does help out the channel and lets us know that you want more of this kind of content coming your way.
Yeah.
Thank you guys so much for watching to the end of the video. As always, my name's Daniel.
And my name's Matthew.
And we are A to Z Thrills. As always, say it with me now.
Keep calm and coaster on. Bye guys.